Now there's very often one addition which I add to my watercolour wildlife paintings, and that's painting a mottled background. So today what I'm going to do is show you how to paint this very colourful background for this lovely chiff-chaff bird. So let's get the brushes wet and let's get started. First thing to do is grab some clean water, and I mean clean water, and wet that background a couple of times. Try to avoid wetting the inside of the bird. Let this one layer soak in and then add another layer over the top. And then we can start thinking about adding the colours in there. Okay, I'll be back in a minute after it's added a second layer of water, allowing that to soak in just a little bit so we can see the texture of the paper through that water. Oh, and one little tip, get some kitchen roll. There's only one sheet of kitchen roll folded, as you can see, that's all it is. I'm going to fold that like that, and you'll need that very shortly. Okay, I think that should just be about enough there now. Now, if you tilt your paper to one side, you'll see the shine on the paper. And you can see actually where you might have missed. So it's well worth doing that, or at least putting your head to one side and catching the light on the paper that way. And you can see little gaps here and there. You think, missed a bit. Okay, let's go for, you ready? Well, that was serious, wasn't it? Let's go for, nice and polite, Paul, a little bit of our Payne's Grey. Here we go, you ready? Oh, here we go. Remember, I'm not going to make the background exactly the same as that reference photograph. I want this colour to fade, and it will generally fade anyway as it dries. Watercolour normally does, really does. And drop this onto the paper, very carefully in places. Now, because this is a small area, you have to remember where you started, because that place will start to dry the soonest. Go a little bit down here as well. Oh, that's really dark, really dark. Woohoo! I don't mind. You need some depth of colour really because of the fact we've got a very white chest on this bird. And you need that white chest to stand out, just that a little bit. Give it a blend, give it a tickle here and there. Got to maintain the wetness all the time. So keep looking around. If it starts to dry in places, re-wet it in places just by using a damp, clean brush, or at least move some of the paint around as well. This is now the olive green, so I'm just popping this one in. And you want to mix that with the other colours as well. So a little bit of olive green like this, just a touch here and there, leaving gaps in between, like that. Don't have to be too neat about it, you really don't. Something like that maybe. Oh, look at this is a really bright background. I love playing with paints, I really do, always have done obviously. Let's go for the vivid green, here we go, watch this now. Oh, that is really bright. A little bit of vivid green in places. Move it around. Don't give it a chance to dry. Keep looking around that paper, remember. If it starts to dry in places, make sure you keep it wet. And work fairly swiftly with this as well. Don't take too long over it. That's also the key you find. Okay, a little bit down there just to change the colour. Just in places. Into the burnt sienna, moving that around as well. Adding this in. Starting to go a little bit drier up here. It's still wet when you look at it from the side. But because it's starting to dry, I just want to make sure I can maintain that wetness a little bit longer. Gives me that bit more working time really. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I do get excited when I'm working on backgrounds. It's great fun, you know. It really is. Something like that. Now this, as I said, will dry a little bit lighter. And because it'll dry lighter, I'm just washing the brush out by the way and just softening down this colour here. So we're going to have some slightly lighter patches here and there as well. Because it's going to dry lighter, you find that these colours will just kind of sink back a little bit. Even though it looks fairly bright on the paper now, you find that once we painted the bird, this will set back a little bit. It won't be quite as intense as this. A little bit of grey around there, Payne's Grey. Mix it in, maintaining the wetness of that paper still. That's all I'm doing. Just trying to get sort of a balance to the painting, that's all I want to do. It's not going on a set of scales or anything like that, just want to get a balance to it. And when you've got a colour in one area like this, make sure you kind of carry it across to somewhere else beyond it. Here we've got the brown going through there, or the burnt sienna. I've got to be careful now, it's starting to dry. So I think at this stage I'm going to leave it. Now depending on the quality of the paper will depend, once it's dry, if you can add another layer of paint over the top if you ever need to. Some papers don't really give you much option to add another layer on. And one of the papers I use doesn't give me that, okay? But this one normally does, so it's not too bad. I've enjoyed doing that, that's great fun, isn't it? And that didn't take too long. Okay, kitchen roll, folded, remember? Nice tight edge like that. Tidy up your masking tape on the bottom and around the sides. I do this mainly, but one, because I like to see it a little bit tidier than it is. A bit neater, like that, look. And also because you don't really put your hand in there moving paint around, do you? Yes, it'll be dry, but you still end up smudging it or moving it in some shape or form. And also you find sometimes that the paint will get underneath that masking tape. It's got to go underneath there, just underneath this one little edge here, okay? But I'm not too worried about that. Because if I ever decide to frame this, don't know, well, we'll see, depends how it comes out, then all I'm going to do is put a carded mount around that. And that'll sort that problem out. Because normally when you frame a painting, you put a mount around it anyway, don't you? And that mount overlaps the background just by 2 or 3 millimeters, something like that. And that's all that's needed, really. Okay. Now I'm going to leave this to dry naturally for 2 or 3 hours, or maybe even till the following day. In this case, it probably will be, because it's getting quite late now. And I wouldn't dry it with a hairdryer. And that's because I've got masking fluid on the paper. Because sometimes, if you dry it with a hairdryer, and masking fluid is on there, you may harden that masking fluid. It doesn't always happen, but you may harden it. And if that happens, you find it difficult to remove, and it may then tear the paper. Okay, I always say may because it depends on the masking fluid, depends on the paper as well, if that's going to happen or not. But just to be careful, it's just worth being patient. Put it to one side for a few hours once it's completely bone dry and the paper is nice and flat. Now this paper is sort of pre-stretched in a way because it's a block pad. In other words, it's glued all the way around by one tiny little slot in one place where I can slide a palette knife in there when the painting is finished and remove that one layer of paper, or in other words, painting. So now I've got the background painted, I need to now paint that bird. Tell you what I'll do, I'll pop a link to the top right hand corner where I'm painting the chest of this bird to a live video feed here on YouTube just for you. I'll see you there.